Hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. Tonight, I not only have on my wife Amanda, I have Anthony. He is the owner of. Hold on a second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. There we go. There we go. Yes, share that. There we go. Okay, so he is the owner of the Haunted Pine Lawn Manor and Rehab Center. He just recently, I think, bought this. He'll tell you more in just a minute. But he's very excited because this is a very haunted location, and he's going to tell us about it tonight. So, Anthony, tell us a little bit about the Haunted Pine Lawn Manor and Rehab Center.
Uh, you know, uh, Start all off, I guess. I heard about Pine Lawn Manor and some of the things that occurred at Pine Lawn Manor as far as like materialization of objects out of nowhere. And I was like, you know what? I got to go check this out for myself. So, the guy that's been doing tours out of there, he holds his tours in October. And I was like, you know what? Let me go just check this out. I'm sure it's a bunch of BS. That's just my honest thoughts about it. Outside looking in, because I've never had that happen, or I've never heard anybody discuss of anything like to that extent of objects materializing out of thin air and falling or actually hitting people.
Right.
So I went in there on one of the tours, and uh, I was in Red's hallway in Pine Lawn, and I was the only one in the hallway, and I know that for 100% fact because the tour hasn't even started yet. That was previous to the tour coming in that evening. Uh, I was in there with the guy that was running the tour, but when I was walking out of Red's hallway, a marble hit my foot in the back of my foot, and I was like, "There's no way this just happened." There was nobody in the room, There was nobody in the hallway, nobody, nowhere near me.
Right?
I was by myself, and it's like it blew my mind away. I mean, it truly did. I mean, to the point where I was like, I actually had a conversation with the guy, running this tour, and I said, if, you know, I plan on buying this. I didn't know this was that real until now. I mean, it happened. So I said, February, I'm going to go talk to the guy that owns this property. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this building in February of next year. And that was in October of the previous year. And I said, if nobody's bought it by then, I'm going to buy it. And I went there in February of the next year and talked to the guy that owned it, and we had a deal struck within the same day.
Wow.
So, what kind of other activities happened on your tour besides the marble?
That anything and everything you could possibly imagine. I mean, this is single handedly one of the most haunted locations I've ever been in, if not the most haunted location I've ever walked into my life. Um, the amount of energy that's in this building is pretty to the point where I've created a challenge for Pine Lawn Manor, specifically for Pine Lawn Manor, because Pine Lawn, it likes to get you alone, and when it does, it likes to scare the crap out of you. I mean, it's as simple as that.
What
Uh,
tell us a little bit about the challenge. What did you create?
so I took original restraints from the patients in Pine Lawn, and I put it in a wheelchair, and so we leave somebody in the building alone in the dark, no cameras running, no lights, just a two-way radio. If they want to tap out, they can reach us through the two-way, the walkie-talkies. But they got to sit in Pine Lawn strapped into the wheelchair for 15 minutes by themselves. Down, it doesn't really particularly matter where we put them, but we can put them anywhere and anywhere in Pine Lawn. Um,
And how many people have taken the challenge?
Actually, starting to get quite a bit of people that's taken the challenge and that's declined the challenge.
Yeah, they just say nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
So what it does, it just enhances like Pylon. As soon as it's dark in there, like that's when activity just goes rampant. Everybody that's done the challenge has said something about strange light anomalies that just occur for long periods of time, like for 7, 8 minutes at a time, like light anomalies. You never hear that. That's not coming from me. That's coming from people that done the challenge.
Right.
Um, Full blown shadow figures, um, intelligent responses. Yeah, more than one person has said that they've had intelligent knocks, like once for yes and twice for no. They sat there and had a full blown conversation throughout the 15 minutes with something intelligently responding back to them.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How old is this building again?
1965, uh, it was first a motel from 1965 to 1973, and from 1973 on, it was known as Pine Lawn Manor, which was a mental and physically disabled 24-hour care center for the mentally and physically disabled uh, for patients from up north by Chicago, Decatur, and Champaign area. They all came from that area, and they brought them down here to Pine Lawn Manor. So,
So did it have a reputation of being nice to the patients, or was there a lot of deaths in this building?
um, so what I'm being told is there roughly around about 3,000 people passed away in this building.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's we have somebody that's writing a book about Pine Lawn is trying to look up all the deaths and stuff. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot,
Try to
lot of information.
Yeah.
So
Knowing the history of a location really can help you to get a lot of, feedback. Like we were
yeah,
talking in the pre-interview, if I come into your house and I go, "Hey, what's your name? How long have you lived here? And I start asking all these questions, you're gonna be like, "What? Who the heck are you? Get the heck out." But if I hey come in and say, "Hey, Matt, I know you died in blah and you died of this and you lived here for however long," and it
yeah,
builds a rapport or a reputation, and you can really start to communicate with those entities. I'd be more if somebody knew my name, I'd be more open to having a conversation with them. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. And one thing I really enjoy about Pine Lawn is the fact that the spirits that you're talking to or whoever it is that you're speaking with, if you ask them to do something, chances are you're going to get a response back to
wow.
what you're wanting them to do. I mean,
yeah,
it's surely want to. I feel like they truly want to uh, try to accomplish whatever you're asking them to do. I really truly believe that.
they're really communicating with you is
Yep.
happens on the regular, which is unusual
Mhm.
for a location because, as you know, I'm sure you're an avid ghost hunter, and we've been doing this a long time. You don't always get activity.
About 50% of the time, if you're
Yeah,
lucky. So, and
You
document.
do have locations that are like you do have locations out there that are like I don't want to say produce more activity, but it's true. I mean, you're gonna have locations that you're not gonna get nothing every night. You know, it's not gonna happen. I mean, you're not gonna get paranormal activity every time you go out. That's unheard of. That's false. You guys know that.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
But
So
you do have but you do have locations that seem like they every time you go in there that something's going to happen. Especially like I investigate all night long. I mean, you have teams that investigate for 3 or 4 hours, and I don't know how long you guys investigate for, but
all night long.
we'll start at 7. We'll start when it gets done. 7, 8 o'clock at night, and we'll go all the way up
Yeah.
until 3 or 4 in the morning sometimes.
Yeah. We usually spend the night at the location we're at,
Yeah,
whether
we
it's
take a nap
Bigfoot or,
first,
yeah.
sometimes in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
But we leave in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We take breaks here
Yeah.
and there, but we try and move through each area and give them an opportunity to communicate with us.
And
So,
sometimes you need a break. You can't investigate. I don't think nobody can sit there and investigate for that long period of time constantly. You need
No,
to take breaks.
and then
exactly.
when you stop and you go lay down or take a break or take a nap, sometimes things happen. And we run DVR cameras So it's like, oh my gosh, we caught this, we caught that while we were sleeping. Motion was caught. What is it? And then you go explore it, and you're like, oh, I got something really cool. Do you
Well,
have
you
cameras
guys know.
set up inside?
Maybe you guys can testify to what I'm about to tell you. Like when you run cameras and when you're not running cameras. Like if you went into a location without cameras, activity is going to be uh, through
Yeah,
the roof. Compared to like if you bring a bunch of cameras in there and try to catch it on film.
right.
Right. A lot of times when you bring the cameras, nothing happens.
Hmm.
Yep.
You're not
Yeah.
really supposed to get caught doing that, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, so you're doing an event, right? You're doing some kind of
Yeah.
event with other venues.
Yeah. So we're just
What's that?
I'm teaming up with other property owners throughout the Midwest here. I'll mention their names. Bill Manor out of Ohio. Monroe House out of Hartford City. Randolph County Infirmary out of Winchester, Indiana. Uh, then Whispers Estates out of Mitchell, Indiana. And we got two more. We got more adding on before March 15th deadline for everybody, for people to come. And so basically, it's just a massive collaboration between all the locations and, yeah, generating people to come in and investigate all these locations. And after they reach a certain number of investigations throughout the road trip, then we're gonna hold an event for everybody that completes the road trip in October.
Got it. And how long is the road trip? Like if I was going to sign up for this event, how long would I have to take off at work? Like, what's that looking like?
You could do it throughout the year, so you could hit, depending on your location, how far you're traveling and stuff. I mean, if you're traveling from Texas, you probably need a week off, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so you stop at each location and it's kind of
Yeah.
like you get to investigate them and it's an all-inclusive cost or
Yeah, I can actually get you guys the. I got a buddy of mine that helps me out with all this, and he sent all the rules and regulations and everything out to every owner and all that good stuff to the email. I can let you post that on your.
yeah, because our viewers might want to come out
Yeah,
and do, the challenge at the manor or,
Yeah,
visit
for sure.
the entire trip.
yeah,
So I want to be able to link it down in the comments. So
Yeah, for sure. I'll get that to you guys.
yeah.
yeah. And you just set up this Facebook account, right?
Yeah, yeah. You can go to Pine Lawn Manor and you can check it out on there. Yeah, we have all the details and all the regulations up on the website,
Yeah.
Facebook website.
Perfect.
And I'm kind of scrolling through the pictures. A lot of these pictures are creepy as hell.
So, what you're seeing there is you got Pine Lawn Manor. Then right next door to Pine Lawn Manor, you have the Sumner Care and Rehab Center,
So that's
which
one
is
on
to
the
the
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yep, right there where you're clicking right now.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
That's the Sumner Care and Rehab Center.
Okay, and you get activities in both buildings, right?
Yeah. Um, Definitely get activity in both buildings. I mean, I wish I could hit on a lot of, like, it's going to take multiple podcasts in order to try to tell you guys quite a bit of stuff that's happened. The
Right.
last
Right.
podcast, I
Okay.
hit on a few things at Pine Lawn.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tell us
but
most like unbelievable story. Just tell us one really good story.
somebody else,
Well, about Pine Lawn and or the rehab center. Like, tell us a
Yeah.
scary.
do you want my story or somebody else's
Oh,
story?
No,
whichever
tell.
one's the
Yeah,
best.
whatever one you want to tell.
What stands out to me, there's so many things that stand out to me, but um, obviously the marble throwing, it's happened so many times I can't count it. I mean, that stands out. But I'm going to tell you a story about Go Dark Paranormal with Rick. Um, he had an Estes session with his brother and his brother's wife, and his brother was under Estes, and he said ex Mark's brother. He didn't think nothing about it at the time. He got back to the motel that he was staying at that night, or hotel, and he looked at his chest. He took his shirt off, looked at his chest. He had a digital X. It wasn't a scratch. It was like somebody printed an X on his chest.
That's nuts.
Insane.
And I got a picture of that to prove it, by the way.
Oh, you should
And
post that on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
yeah, we need to. Yeah, I'm going. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I've been in one place with Matt actually where he got a scratch. So that means that you guys got some good activity going in there.
I was telling you about Rick. He had grown up with paranormal, so he's in his late 50s or 60s or something like that. So when he was a kid, he couldn't talk about the paranormal because uh, he told me that they would have probably yeah. So Rick told me that when he was a kid that he could not discuss anything about the paranormal because they would have thought he's what was it? Because of the religion. His mom and dad was religious, and they just you know they didn't know how to handle it back then, right?
Yeah, a lot of people just don't believe.
So they
Yeah.
would have thought something was not right with him, or he needed to seek some kind of medical help or something.
Right.
Or they were put into mental institution, probably not.
Yep,
Hmm.
and that's exactly what he said. I just didn't really know how to word it, I guess, without.
Yep. I
Yeah.
grew up on that era too. You didn't say the word ghost or psychic or medium or any of that.
Yeah,
Haunted. My mom was very Christian, or very Catholic, excuse me. My dad was a non-believer. So, I
He
mean,
still is a non-believer.
yeah, showed him all the crazy evidence we caught, and he's just like, oh.
yeah. No, Rick told me sometime throughout the night at Pine Lawn that he said throughout he's been doing it since he's a kid. He's been doing it for quite some time. He does tours out of Nashville, Tennessee. He's been doing tours out there for 20 something years. Uh, but he says at one time in Pine Lawn, he didn't want to walk in Pine Lawn by himself.
Wow.
He said that was the first time he's ever marked too, like scratched or marked.
Jeez.
Right. When you
But
have
that stands out to me just because how big the X was on his stomach area, chest area. Another one was the group from Bell Mansion. I mean, there's multiple people that sticks out, but he had brought a woman with him, and I told the story the last podcast that you guys had trouble uploading the podcast, didn't you?
well, we had a
But
paranormal experience. I would
Yeah.
call it that
You got to
because it.
remember this room is paranormally charged. A lot of
yeah, yeah.
here behind me, the other way, have attachments. And
So
so sometimes when you listen back to the podcast and I'm going through to edit, I get EVPs. Like she won't be home. There will be a female voice
yeah,
on the recording or a male voice that
Well,
has
that's
a
not what
German
happened.
accent.
The recording would just disappear.
It was just wasn't there when I went to go check it.
But we recorded it. You heard.
Yeah,
So
I could see it. I could see where it recorded, but
yeah,
there was
that's
nothing there.
which is weird because I never have an issue
Yeah,
at work or anything like
yeah,
that. So I don't
yeah.
know.
So,
and Bell Mansion, the group from Bell Mansion stood out because the guy I had dropped him off to do the tour during the day, and I said I'll be right back because he was expecting somebody from Chicago. It was a woman that's practicing being a mortician out of Chicago, and she lives in a funeral home
mhm.
and all the stuff in between. But and then she wound up showing up, so I just I went ahead and walked him back through. But when I came back, he was sitting outside. I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "I'm not going back in there until you came back or somebody did because uh,
Yep.
something ran up on him. Uh,
He
I
saw
guess he got freaked out.
one person run at him.
Mm.
Like something physically ran up on him, but nothing was there.
Wow.
Crazy.
But
That's
they
scary.
wind up staying in Pine Lawn for about 3 to 4 hours, and he called me and said, "Hey, you want to come and lock up? We're leaving. It's just
Wow.
too much for us tonight." And she's freaked out, I guess. Like she said, "I can't take the energy inside this building. Like it's creeping me out." I said, "You're a mortician in Chicago."
Yeah.
Right. That's what I
I
was.
said, and this is it blew me away. Honestly, that story just blew me away.
Yeah.
But
She sees dead people all the time.
yeah, and
Dead people.
how they pass away over, in the city and everything. And she's
Yeah.
probably seen quite a bit of stuff. So that just shocked me.
Yeah. That
It
is.
floored me back, honestly. It really did.
Yeah.
Uh, we got a personal story over at the care center, which is across the street from Pylon. Uh, me, my wife, daughter, and her fiance, and we had seen a full blown shadow of a man walking towards us, and it was all in the dark, but you can make out all the features, the legs, the arms, the head, the body, everything about this shadow of a man you can see. But
Full body apparition.
yes, couldn't see the facial features because it was dark, but it just floored us. I mean, first off, we wasn't expecting anything like that,
Right.
and I've never seen nothing like that. So it's like
Hmm.
it threw me back, threw my wife back. She don't get startled at all. Uh, she'll walk through the pylon and everything else, and other buildings by herself in the dark. But it kind of we all seen it, and we know we seen it, and it's like this thing was walking towards us within 15 feet or less, and it kept walking, and I was like, "Is this thing gonna stop?" I mean, so I didn't know really what to do, how to handle it, because I was like dumbfounded on what I was even witnessing.
Right.
Hmm.
So I was like, "Stop in the name of Jesus Christ." That's the only thing I knew what to say.
Well,
I've done
I
that.
mean, seriously, I didn't know what to do. I mean, I was just like,
Yeah. I totally agree with you there. I've done that.
it dissipated. It went away.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that.
Yeah, you just never know what you're dealing with when you get into this stuff. I mean, I grew up with it. She grew up with it. I mean, I've seen some crazy things. Everything you're talking about, I've experienced. So it's like, yep, 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 yep.
One other,
That's like a
one
really
other,
cool
inc-
place, though.
one other incident in the care center that's blow that takes me back is I was in the building by myself. We had a little fire. I remember talking to you the last time about this, but I was putting the fire outside. We got a little fire pit outside the care center, and I was putting the fire out. I was the only one in the building, and out of the room to my left, out of the kitchen, I heard like a really crazy growl sound that I've never heard in my life. Like
Yeah.
something was really warning me to get the hell out of there.
Did you?
Uh,
Did you get the hell out of there?
yeah, I broke the bottom, the doors. I swung it open so fast, I think I cracked the bottom of the glass.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I got the heck out of Dodge.
Exactly. Yeah, if
Yes.
someone's warning you, I'm leaving. That's
Hmm.
100%. If
Yeah.
I'm getting crowd out, I am not staying.
Yeah. And those old hospitals, I mean, they store all kinds of energy. Like I said before, you just never know who you're dealing with or what you're dealing with. You might think you're dealing with a human, and all of a sudden it's not a human. And they come into those places sometimes, and they try and mess with
By
people.
when the activity really ramps up, you just don't know what they're capable of.
Right, it's an unknown.
Yeah.
Like you said, you could go 90% of the time, and you're just barely hearing knocks and bangs and stuff. But like a real big paranormal experience,
If
Yeah.
I
like
need,
you guys have heard, and
Right. Now, do you guys allow RVs and stuff to come out and park out in the parking lot? Is there a
uh,
park somewhere where we can park an RV or something?
yeah, there's plenty of space you can stretch out, park an RV. You could probably park 20 RVs out there if you really wanted to.
Yeah, because we have an RV and we travel to do Bigfoot research and stuff like that. We travel all over Texas, but we wanted to cruise up there and meet you. We would love to be able to bring our RV and stay a night or two at least, and hang out with you and investigate.
Yeah,
So,
you guys should.
yeah.
so you want to tell us anything more about your event coming up? Is there any detail
Uh,
you want to share?
one in particular, besides Haunted Pylon Manor in this Sumner Care Center, there is an actual first nursing home here in town, which is in 1 mile from Pylon Manor. It's an old Victorian home that was served as the first nursing home. That's included into the road trip too.
So, how many locations are there in total right now?
Uh, I have 3 5s,
Quite a few.
12, I think.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow. Oh, cool.
Wow, that's a quite an adventure. That's a
Right.
nice adventure.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
you're
that's
only into the
so
paranormal, this is something cool for you to do.
The
So
paranormal.
big.
check it out on the link.
You have to just hit 5 though. That's all you have to. That's all you have to attend is 5 of them. Be able to. And in October we're gonna have for whoever completes the challenge or the road trip. Uh, we're gonna have some things planned for everybody as far as like giveaways and everything.
Cool.
That's cool.
That'll be fun.
And we're working on some teams to come in and for the October event for like meet and greets and um, you know
So kind of like a sponsor event or
yeah we have a sponsor, um, Ghost Hunters Equipment
uh-huh.
out of St. Augustine, Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they sponsored the event, and we're working on a few others before the March deadline.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that'll be fun. So if you guys would like to go out and do this paranormal event, I will link his Facebook page below. As he told us before, if you want to get a hold of him, just leave a message and they're on their Facebook page, or you can message them. And if you can't get a hold of them for some reason, feel free to email or text me, and I will put you in touch with Anthony. And maybe we'll see you out there. That'd be cool. All right, Anthony. Well, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about your event and your location. We look forward to hopefully someday getting out there and checking it out. That sounds really amazing. And we'll definitely maybe come out and spend a couple days with you.
yeah. I look forward to having you guys and appreciate you having me on the podcast. And
All right.
Well, thank you for coming.
Well,
Appreciate it.
yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Again, the links will all be down below for his stuff. If you wanted more information, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we will catch you on the next one.